We made a tactical tweak, and at first it looked like it had transformed one player. Now the rest of the squad is joining in. Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. And we're coming into this one off the back of 7 straight wins in all competitions and flying high in Europe. The tactical tweaks we've made appear to have worked as we are back to dominating teams and scoring a ton of goals in the process. We are 4th, headed into our last 2 Champions League games of the league phase, and we'll be looking to wrap up a top 8 spot to avoid that dreaded knockout playoff round. We are, however, only 2nd in the league, so that is something we will be looking to set straight in this one, but with the way that the team's playing, that almost feels like a guarantee. So let's get into it. So we're starting this one with the opening of the transfer window, and we do confirm the signing of our new goalkeeper, Besnik Shahaj. Not the easiest name to say in the world, but doesn't look too bad. Just the 2 million we paid for him. Apparently, he's better than Piers Charles, and he's only 21, so be looking for him to improve as we play. And next up, Hoffenheim were back. After all those offers we had from them in the summer, they did come back with an offer for Carlos Alexander for 17 million, which swiftly got rejected. And Jay Robinson is the player of the month, along with me winning manager of the month. So pretty good stuff all round. What's not quite so good is our squad dynamics, with quite a few players with issues. Bernblad wanting more games, Hernandez unhappy with his playing time along with Caicedo, and obviously Eric Adam and Josh Doig both wanting to go out alone to get some more game time. So that is something we will be trying to address in this episode and trying to make this squad a little bit happier. But for the first game of the episode, it is a big one as we head to Ibrox for a top of the table clash, as these are currently in first place, having played a game more than us. And it was them that went closest, shooting there with a good save from the goalkeeper. But as you can see, 59th minute, not too much happening in the first half of this one. And then Canazun getting it on his left, it ends up all the way across to Jay Robinson, who taps into an open goal to give us a 1-goal lead. Obviously, this is a big game for us to get back in front and top of the league. And Semi helps that case as he puts another one past the goalkeeper in the 81st to make it 2-0. And then just as we went looking for a third in the 87th minute, Canazun turns back, pulls it back to Levi. His efforts blocked and a counter-attack for Rangers, and they are away. Lovely ball over the top to Ant-Man. And he really should have done better there, but a good save from Piers Charles, who was still in the net for this one, as we go on to beat them 2-0. So we have gone at top of the league. Canazun impressing yet again. I think that's about 4 games in a row now where he has had all the plaudits talking about him. And then we do get another offer for Carlos Alexander, but this time from Al Hazem for 17 million, which got rejected alongside this other one from Hoffenheim as they came back in with another bid of 23 million, also got rejected. And next up, we got a game against Dundee at Pittodrie in this one, and in the 17th minute, Marinowicz finding Robertson, and what a finish from him that is. I've mentioned it previously, this man only scores bangers. Robinson involved again as he plays it down the line to Canazun. Canazun pulling it back to Robinson. He crosses into the middle, and Samo Profundi puts it into the back of the net to make it 2-0. And then in the 51st minute, Jay Robinson involved again as he goes past his man, pulling it back to Levi. The pass into the middle, and looks pretty harsh this one, but a penalty. And Canazun went for the Panenka. Probably not the best idea, having looked at that one. But then 15 minutes later, it made no difference as Caicedo gets his head onto the corner to make it 3-0 anyway. And in the 92nd minute, a Song looked like he'd pull one back for Dundee with a lovely finish. But as you can see from this replay, he was just in an offside position. However, those lines are completely wrong. But we do go on to win 3-0. Next up, we played St Mirren. And these are always pretty difficult in these last few seasons. They've certainly stepped up to the plate. And then Marinowicz getting onto the end of this one, putting us 1-0 up in the 35th minute. And then, literally a minute later, Wernblad with a lovely ball over the top to find Hernandez. And what a finish that is from him. Quite emphatic as we go 2-0 up. And then a bit of a wait for the next one, as in the 83rd minute, the corner come in. Minor Urena heads it into the back of the net as we go on to win 3-0. And we have fully embraced Arsenal ball with these corners. And can we get another one as we play Hearts in this one? As the free kick comes in from Marinowicz and finds Caicedo, who heads home to make it 1-0 in the 26th. Just inside the second half, great ball over the top. Michael Funk Lovely bit of play from him, keeping it in play. And then Hernandez blasts it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0. And then right at the death, 92nd minute, Michael Funk down the left again, finding Caicedo. The centre-back had gone on a little adventure. And it ends up coming back out to Ansu Fati for a tap-in as we go on to beat Hearts 3-0. We did also then get an offer for Andreas Hernandez after he's certainly improved his form recently, getting a lot more game time after complaining. But obviously that was rejected, as certainly we want to keep him around at the club. And then after we rejected that one, we did get another offer of 20 million, but that also got rejected. So next up, we go to Clyde in the Scottish Cup, and you'll see quite a few youngsters playing in this one with Wilson, Marshall, McNaughton, Stourier, and yeah, still good off to a good start. Going 1-0 up before Michael Funk added a second to make it 2. But Clyde with a great goal themselves. Dylan Gormley pulling one back and making it 2-1. But then the youngster Stourier getting it across. Not sure why he's not been given the assist for that one. Moise Keane tapping home to make it 3. And then Moise Keane again. Great finish from him. Shooting across goal, making it 4. Ansu Fati involved in this one as he lays it off for Eric Adam, and his effort hitting the post before going into the back of the net and making it 5. But Clyde did pull another one back. Tristan Stephen with a great finish there. And then Ansu Fati wrapping the scoring up, making it 6-2 in the 91st minute as we advance through to the next round of the Scottish Cup. And I find this pretty mad to believe, but Jimenez wanted to discuss personal matters. He wasn't happy with the price tag that we'd put on him. And we ended up discussing it and agreeing on 7.5 million, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why I did this, because we accepted a bid for him in the summer, which nearly went through if it didn't actually fall through, of 26 million. So I'm not entirely sure what's happened, but his price tag has certainly fallen off a cliff at the moment. We then also got another offer for one of our centre-backs, which they've been high in demand over the last couple of years. Pedro Silva, an offer of 18.75 million, and it was accepted due to the release clause. So rather than just let him go, we spoke to his agent, asked him if he wanted to sign a new contract, in which he apparently wanted to. So after a bit of negotiating, because I don't like loyalty bonuses, I tried to get those down as much as possible. He did agree to sign a new contract, so we'll be looking to keep him at the club and remove that release clause. Well, on to the first of our final 2 games in the Champions League this season, or the league phase at least, anyway, we hope. Against Bodø Glimt, you might remember we played them a few years ago and they absolutely battered us, completely shocked us. But Hernandez putting us 1-0 up inside 9 minutes in this one, getting off to a great start. And certainly not looking to repeat that previous result. Semi crosses it to the far post, and Jay Robinson with a volley across goal to make it 2 inside 11 minutes. Just a few minutes later, though, they did pull one back after the striker was shot on the edge of the box by the snipers in the crowd. Shelderup does put it into the back of the net anyway to make it 2-1. But in the 19th minute, Semi putting it in the bottom corner as we go 4-1 up. And what an opening 20 minutes this was for the neutrals. A load of goals. And then just 6 minutes later, Canazun playing it into Semi, and what a strike that is from him to make it 4-1. And we completed the scoring all within the first half. 39th minute, Jay Robinson getting it on his left foot, cutting back, pulls it into the middle. Profundi's effort coming back to him, and he scores his first goal of the Champions League this season, which is quite surprising. We do go 5-1 up. And then we nearly added one in the second half with Wernblad blasting past the goalkeeper. But as you can see from this might be the tightest offside I've actually seen on this game. And it was ruled out. But we do still go on to win the game 5-1. So, Semi on form in that one. And we did get an injury to Ansu Fati. Thankfully, nothing too bad. Just a couple of days. You know what he's been like. And Pedro Silva's work permit decision, we are waiting on that. He will be signing a new contract, so thank the Lord for that. He wasn't interested in going to Porto. He signed a new contract, and we'll be keeping him for a little bit longer at least. So this is how the player stats are looking at the moment. 14 goals for Simone Profundi with 6 assists. So, as I said, quite surprising he still only had the 1 Champions League goal. But 13 and 6 for Semi certainly stepped up this season, and 13 and 7 for Jay Robinson is unreal from him. Canazun with just the 8 goals, but 14 assists. And yeah, quite surprised. Andreas Hernandez actually had 4 goals and 13 assists as well. So he's certainly been doing very well as well. And heading into the final Champions League game, this is how the table sits after 7 played. We are in 6th place on 16 points. Obviously, Paris Saint-Germain are way out in front, having won all 7 games. But we've not done too bad ourselves, and we were looking to finish inside that top 8 to automatically go through to the round of 16. And I could just mention, Silva had agreed that contract, and he's been given his work permit, so he has signed that new deal, and his value has now shot up to 28 to 39 million. He's looking very nice indeed. Back to the football, though, as we play Hibs at Pittodrie in this one. And we get off to a great start in this one. Hernandez, after I just mentioned how well he's been doing, well, he gets us off to the perfect start, putting us 1-0 up inside the opening 3 minutes. But just 6 minutes later, Carlos Alexander with the ball over the top and the half volley from Michael Funk to make it 2-0. We then get a corner that comes in, and there was apparently a shove. Completely didn't see it, but we do get a penalty. And Canazon doesn't dink it this time, doesn't go for the Panenka, goes for the bottom corner and makes it 3-0. And then in the 73rd minute, Michael Funk gets on the end of a great ball over the top, pulling it back to Carlos Alexander, and we go on to win the game 4-0. And then into our final Champions League game of the season, in the league phase at least, and against Sparta Prague in this one. And took us quite a while to get going in this one. You'll see just on the stroke of half-time, Simone Perfundi getting it on his left foot and scores again to make it 3 goals in 8 matches for him as he puts us 1-0 up. He nearly scored again with what would have been an absolute audacious chip from him, but unfortunately it hits the crossbar and comes back out to Sparta Prague's delight. But just 6 minutes later, Canazon pulling it down, bringing it back to Jay Robinson, gets it back, a little 1-2, goes across goal, gets cleared out. Carlos keeps it back in play. Robinson fires it across, and Marinowicz does smash it into the back of the net to give us a 2-goal lead, and that is how the game finishes as we end the Champions League phase on a high. So we have qualified for the round of 16, and getting that 1.8 million for winning, and we also have picked up an injury for Moise Keane, so he's going to miss the next couple of weeks, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully it should be back for the next round of the competition. We've also received 9 million for achieving that 6th place finish of the league phase. And we'll be looking to get some more money as we advance through the competition. This is the final league table of the competition. We finish on 19 points, 3 points clear of the rest of the teams below us, apart from Liverpool, obviously on the same points. So it was very much needed to have won those last 2 games. Well, so far so good. Our main focus over the last couple of seasons has been the Champions League. And finishing the 6th place in the Champions League phase certainly shows the improvements that we've made. That does also mean we have avoided the dreaded knockout playoff round, which plagued us for so many years. So we don't know who we're going to be playing yet in the round of 16. You'll have to watch the next episode to find that one out. But that is going to do it for this one. And if you've enjoyed it, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.